We did have in Guadeloupe for the past 3 days the first edition of the International Market for Caribbean Film and Television. For us it's a very significant moment, and it's a very significant tool for the development of the audiovisual industry in the region. As we know, there is now an official network for audiovisuals in the Caribbean, the CAN, and we view this market as one of the tools that can be used for CAN for the development of the industry in the region, because the market and CAN have many objectives in common, and instead of pursuing them on each of our islands and territories, we decided to get together and share our resources, pool our resources, and pursue these common goals together.
We have taken less than a year to form the organization. We had a meeting in Santo Domingo in March to look at what could be done to organize the audiovisual sector. That meeting led to a number of conversations via email, webinar. After we got to a certain point, we then decided to meet in Martinique. That was facilitated with the help of the Caribbean Export Development Agency, and we also got some support from the Regional Council of Martinique. That meeting led to the formation of the association, where we had representatives from over 17 countries, and that enabled us to really sit down and to work out a number of aims, objectives, and some priority actions.
Caribbean Export is really an agency that has embraced this paradigm shift. The Caribbean Regional Negotiating Machinery is one of the other agencies, CARICOM. So regionally, what we're seeing is all of the institutions are giving the creative industries now the kind of air and support, and it's trickling down and across at the national level. And that, this movement to set up an association will have impact even at the policy level.
There's a motivation to assure that all of the filmmakers and professionals in the audiovisual sector of the Caribbean have an opportunity to better their production, to expand their knowledge, to be able to create and have the facility, equipment and support to create, and to make sure that what they will create will be able to be seen the world over. So we have a major task in front of us.
We have an executive committee that's composed of the president, first and second vice president, treasurer, and executive secretary. The executive committee reports to the board. Now we have 11 board members that are representatives of 11 countries. But in the wider grouping of CAN, we have at present 18 countries that are signed up, and these countries represent every language group. The members of CAN span the entire Caribbean basin, from Belize in the west to Suriname in the northeast. And we really saw that it was important to have diversity of representation. We also recognize that because we are so diverse as a group, we have to have special mechanisms to ensure smooth communication and equity in terms of, the languages and just opportunities for members.
If we become a group, a regional group, I know what's going on in the other Caribbean countries. They know what's going on in my country. We send the new media, the internet has made all this possible. Digital technology has made all this possible. We can speak to each other in a conference call. Everything is possible. The festivals can link up, the associations can link up, and we're merely just representatives of our country and returning and sharing information. So there is endless possibilities for us to finally become a region.
CAN can create the opportunities for a lot of networking of industry players, and through this networking they can develop partnerships and co-productions. What we're hoping is that through the partnerships and co-productions, the lesser developed islands will be able to get a lot of training for members, because they will be able to work as camera assistants with professionals and learn the trade in all technical aspects.
CAN has a major role to play in supporting the development of the regional industry because, of course, it's representing all the different markets. So whether it is French, Spanish, English, I think that's a start, and we can use the models that are already existing in the various territories and the market access to trade and get a better level of content, standards, and of course distribution of the content. So that's a start for CAN. I think it's a fundamental and a great win. But particularly with regard to youth, I think that what I would recommend is again an assessment and evaluation of the programs that are currently up and running. And so rather than inventing the wheel, it would be like research and apply. I would want to speak to the secondary schools short film competition that currently exists in Trinidad. It's in its 4th year, and I think that it is public-private sector partnership that is designed to assist the youth with developing their own stories and creating them, in terms of films, and then having the opportunity through schools to be able to take it up and then have a competition. So you have to create incentives that will keep the youth interested.
4 years ago, we organized the Traveling Caribbean Film Showcase. Until today is the unique, the first and really the most important action in this region for the promotion of the Caribbean Caribbean films, and to have the opportunity to know the artwork of the Caribbean authors, inside the region and outside too. And in this case, the CAN, the Caribbean Audiovisual Network, in my opinion, in some way resume the aspiration, the efforts during many years of the Caribbean filmmakers to improve, to develop the film movement in this region. In that sense, the Traveling Caribbean Film Showcase expected from CAN, of course, all the support.
Guadeloupe is a good opportunity for Caribbean because we are a communication door, a gate between Americas, Caribbean and Europe. And we know that Europe has certain strong money to do some certain thing. Now euro is bigger than dollars, even US dollar we see or BRI dollars. Now, before Guadeloupe was turned towards Europe, and now Guadeloupe decided to turn towards Caribbean. That means that our fund, our cinematographic fund, we are ready to share it with Caribbean, because we know that in Caribbean we climbed, borderline. And the main borderline that we had before is language. You see, even in this interview, so it's a new practice for me. But I think that we are ready to make endeavor to achieve together our project. It means the 6th continent, as it was before, with Amerindian, with Arawaks, with Carib, before the arrival of African people, before the arrival of European people.
It's great to be here at this meeting with CAN, Caribbean Audiovisual Network. I think it's a good opportunity. It represents this idea of maybe finally networking, so I can get to know other Caribbean filmmakers, what they're doing, some of the problems and opportunities that we have together. So this has been great.
The burden is upon us that have been elected to lead this association, this network, is to make sure that the reason that we're there is not because of, not to be a corporate structure, but to be able to really generate income, better business situations, co-productions, and all the kind of things that are that in the long run, we hope, soon filmmakers will be able to say, this association, this network is really making a difference in our lives.